welcome Joe Ingles. We're open to questions.
What a welcome.
Joe, this might be a dumb question, but how does
I'll let you know.
Okay. How does a guy like Donovan Mitchell improve, considering he just had one of the best rookie seasons in franchise history?
That wasn't a dumb question.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
I mean, I think, I guess from where he started to where he is now was a huge difference. I think from summer league and then finding his feet early on in the year, and obviously being able to you guys all know he watches something one time and learns from it pretty quickly. Even in saying all of that, I think he's still got a ton more. His reads defensively, the little things here and there. It's obviously, like you said, it's hard when a kid comes in and averages 20 and 3 or whatever he did. But knowing him, obviously being around him, and like you guys do, you've seen him now. He's going to come back bigger and better. There's no doubt in my mind. Those things will be determined with the coaching staff and all that. But I think just overall, he'll be an overall better player.
This is undoubtedly
it's definitely going to be a dumb question.
Obviously, you guys had some real positivity this time last year, but question marks with personnel. Is it a different feeling going into this summer, knowing that everybody that's kind of core is locked into place?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've try not to think about it too much. Yeah, we've been on a bit of a ride as until last night. I think everyone is going to walk in here and say how special our group was and how close our group was this year. A completely different feeling, I think, to last year, even the season last year. I think the guys we just genuinely cared and trusted each other, and we were committed to the same thing. Obviously, whatever happens, we've always got free agents, I guess. I've said it before. I hope everyone's back. I think what we did, if we can stay healthy and keep our group together, I think we can be a really, really, really good team. And again, that's not obviously my decision. Some of them. Fave did tell me that I didn't need to fly in a private jet to go and see him, just to FaceTime him just before he said, "Don't waste your time, just FaceTime me." But yeah, I mean, I hope our whole group's back. I guess we'll see what happens, but I'll be pushing for it if I get any say. This is definitely.
Now I'm trying to think of a dumb question to ask you. A lot are coming to my mind.
No, you could, Jody.
So a lot has been made about this chemistry, and you alluded to as well. Was that something that is personality based and the teammates, or is that something you guys specifically worked on and maybe management focused on? Or
I mean, we didn't sit in a circle and tell all our secrets, and I think obviously Dennis and Quinn do a great job especially since I've been bringing great people in, and they've did it again last off season. The guys we had, I think it starts with that, bringing the right guys in, and then obviously gelling together and I guess forming that bond. There was a lot of guys that I'd never played with. Obviously we had rookies, we had guys, veterans from different teams, but our group from last year to this year, the guys that were here was very different. So bringing in good people is easy to bond with and easy to create those relationships, which obviously makes it easier on court to play. And I think we did that pretty quickly. I don't think the results probably showed early on in the year, but I think we easily could have gone the other way, and it didn't because of the guys that we've got in our locker room and in our coaching staff. So obviously credit to Dennis and Quinn and those guys for bringing in great people, and to the players for sticking together when we were 19 and 28 and easily could have gone the other way. We stuck together, and I always that got that Detroit win in overtime, and that was kind of the turning point for us.
Joe,
I knew you started to really make an impact, man, when I was getting calls from people all over, the United States, man, that was becoming fans of yours. But just talk about
I'm
this.
worldwide.
Talk about this season, man. I mean, did you shock yourself in any ways? And just talk about just the impact you was able to have, on the team this year.
I don't know I'm not shocked, I guess, but I think just trying to take advantage of opportunities and the previous years I'd obviously been backing up Gordon, started a little bit with him, but we had guys in my position, and once he left, there was that kind of, not a void, but there was a position and minutes that I could potentially take, and just try to take advantage of it. Again, with the new group and that, you're trying to learn on the fly of where you can be effective and where you're not, and where you can score, where you can fit in on defense, all those little things. And our group as a whole, but me as well individually, just working out where I can do that and where I can help. I think I figured it out reasonably quickly, and just try to get better and better throughout the season. And it was good. I mean, I was personally reasonably happy. There's always things you can work on, I think, and get better at. And I'll go upstairs in a minute and find out what they are. But yeah, no, reasonably happy. But yeah, like I said, always things to improve on, and I'll go into this off season and try and come back even better than this year.
Joe, how big or small is the gap between you guys and the top of the Western Conference, and how do you bridge that?
I mean, I think we've showed all year at different points that we've played with the best, we've beaten the best. We've also had some losses that we, I guess, shouldn't have had, quote unquote. But I don't think it's necessarily a gap. I think if we can stay healthy and play the way we played for majority of this season, and I think a lot of that at the start of the year, we've got a complex system offensively and defensively, and it takes time to adjust. And like I said, we had a lot of new guys from last year to this year, and once we started to figure it out, and not that we didn't buy in, but you understand what the system is, where we're trying to get stops, where we're trying to score. We got better and better throughout the year, and our record early on might not have shown that, but I think even Quinn had said it we were going to continually get better, and we were committed to the process of getting better. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting with the group we've got. And I think if we can keep the majority of this group together, I think we'll be able to start the next year off steps ahead of where we were this year, with having those new guys and the system.
Joe, you touched on the in-season development in a couple questions ago. Given your age and how long you've been in the league, most people would look and say, there's not much more there to develop. How big is it for you in general to be with an organization where that's never done? There's always ways you can personally improve and the team can improve.
It's huge. I mean, I was 27 when I first came over here, got cut by the Clippers, and figured it was basically over after that, and was somehow able to stick around for a couple of years. But within those years, being able to work with Quinn and with Zach daily was something that they were just so committed to getting individuals better, which obviously in the long run helps our team. And they've done. I mean, Donovan's obviously a good example for the progress. Royce, who was undrafted and played in wherever he played the last couple of years. It's just been. It's a part of the culture here. It's what we do. Sometimes practices are 3 hours long, but we're still doing a lot of that individual stuff, and that obviously rolls over to those team practices. And you can just see guys getting better throughout the year. It's, I guess for me, it was surprising a little bit at the start because at 27, you don't really, you kind of are who you are to a certain aspect, but there's obviously little things you can keep improving on. But I never thought I would be able to make the leaps that I did. But like I said, it's a credit to the coaching staff and obviously Quinn for being so committed to doing it daily and pushing the other coaches to stay committed on it, and it shows with how we play as a team.
Joe, with the success this year, is any of that maybe attributed to trying to prove that, okay, Gordon left, but we're just as good without him? Obviously, you got successes through Donovan and stuff, but is any of that attributed to that?
No, we weren't too worried about him once he left. There's no. I'm not going to sit here and say I hate the kid, but he made a decision and moved on, and we had to. Dennis and like I said, Dennis and Quinn made some moves late in or early in July, whatever it was, and you move on. There was no point trying to. He'd made a decision. We weren't going to go and get on our knees and beg for him to come back. He'd made a decision. It was over at that point. So you look at what you've got and how you can be a good team with the players we had, and obviously Donovan was probably the biggest kind of shining light in that because he got to play and play a lot and get better throughout the year. So, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. He made a decision. He was gone, and we're really happy where we're going as a club. So, yeah, it's good luck to him. I wish him all the best.
Joe, how was Donovan Mitchell able to earn the respect of the veterans in this locker room so quickly?
I don't know who told you that.
Is that a dumb question?
There you go. I think just through his work ethic and he always, I think he tweets it all the time about being humble and all that, but he really is. He's a genuinely nice kid. He works hard. He obviously is who he is on the court. But asking questions, being respectful, being humble, just all those things that whatever, I don't even know how old he is, 21, 22, whatever he is, to be doing what he's doing at that age and still be able to kind of stay in his little lane and be who he is pretty impressive at that age. And he's leading a franchise to the 5th seed, whatever we got, and to the second round of the playoffs as a rookie. So I guess being around him every day, it's not really a surprise because that's just who he is. He's not putting that on for anyone. He says some silly things to the cameras as he walks out of arenas recently. But that's all a learning process. Even he said it. He's just not used to some things. It's different from college. So he always takes it on the chin and accepts it and moves on and gets better. So yeah, we're very lucky to have him.
All right, Joe, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe.